All right, we're ready to go.
So another episode with Stars Podcast.
So it was brought to my attention that we don't introduce ourselves at the beginning of our shows, which you mentioned before that we should do that,
Yeah.
and I forgot,
Yeah. Oh, no.
and we haven't done it yet. So, speaking now, I'm Ron, Ambitious Distractions on Instagram, and you are
Did you say ambitious tricks?
Ambitious Tricks. I might have said that.
Aaron, GC Rican _ Valor PDS. All right.
Good deal.
Here we go.
Technical difficulties today.
Yeah.
Boy, that was really frustrating.
Well, it comes with it. We're like a slave to these
The technology.
electronics.
Yeah, the microphones just wouldn't load up. They typically just immediately load in, and everything's kind of already done and configured. And then whenever I wrote down what all of the microphones were labeled as
They're done.
on Friday, they're totally different now. That's the goofiest thing. They shouldn't do that. They shouldn't change.
Well, I'm glad you're the one that's freaking doing it.
Oh my god.
Because I don't know if I
Somebody
have
else
the
should
patience.
do it
We got any producers out there that want to work for
free.
nothing. Yeah. I think we can probably get an intern. How cool would that be? If you're trying to make a name for yourself.
Yeah, an intern.
Well, that's one thing that Gary Vee likes to talk about. He says, just go and find the person that's doing it the best and say, hey, I'd like to offer my services for a year and learn from that.
Yeah, they used to do it with apprenticeships.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I told somebody to do that just the other day.
To go try to learn stuff for free?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was, we were talking about what he wanted to do was he wants to learn more about computers. He wants to learn about and build computers and things like that. But he's also too young to really have a job yet. And he lives right by Grove City College. So I said, well, don't they have a computer program up there where you could go in and, I don't know, just go ask how to clean, or if you wanted to clean up or things like that, and just do it for free and in exchange, like just to be able to mess with some of the equipment they have. And I don't know if he's going to do it or not. But I said, why not? Why not? Why wouldn't you just go do that? Because you're going to be around all of the equipment that you want to buy, and you don't have to buy it. You can just use it.
Yeah.
And I said,
On somebody else's dime.
well, and furthermore, like when
Did you say furthermore?
Mhm.
Wow, you sound really astute right now. Astute?
you don't sound askew. But whenever somebody comes up to you and they're asking you about something that you like to do, you typically bring them in and you just throw up on them as much information as you possibly can. So if you're going into, I told him to figure out who the chair of the department is and get on the website and start emailing
How old
people.
is this person?
He's 15.
15. You're
14
asking a lot.
maybe?
You're asking a lot for a 15-year-old to
Absolutely.
have that good forward thinking.
Just
But
put it in his head.
why the hell not?
I'm just treating him like I would treat anybody else.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. I
You know
think
what I
that's
mean?
super cool to him even have a person like you to say that to him, because not too many people. And if you there's no relation to this person, right?
No, not
If
at
this
all.
person doesn't know it. It's different when somebody else says it. Just like I can tell your daughter what to do or how to be respectful, and she would take more, not me personally, but she would take more stock in that as opposed to you doing that because you do it all the time.
Right.
Just like people's kids always act better when they're around other people.
That's not. They do.
That's crazy.
It is a little bit weird. It's that familiarity.
Yeah.
I can't say
Oh,
that.
that was good.
Yeah. That word.
Yeah.
With your family.
Yeah.
It's because you get comfortable and
Goes back to the whole thing of like when we have students come for gun courses, we split the husband and wife up. We either put them on different lines or put them on total opposite ends.
yeah.
Because they can't teach your husband, like I can't teach my wife how to do anything,
Sure.
and vice versa. You can't teach your wife how to do anything, especially your wife. She's pretty headstrong anyway. But it's the truth. Like it's that familiarity.
You said it. I can't. It's like saying
was
cinnamon
close.
and aluminum. Yeah.
Oh,
Did you ever
yeah.
get somebody to try and say that can't say it?
cinnamon, and aluminum.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
The
a tough
aluminum it's a fun one to make people say when they can't say it. We had a girl in high school. She couldn't say either one of them. And it was funny because whenever you do popcorn reading, you familiar with this?
What's popcorn reading?
So you would start reading a paragraph.
Yeah.
And then you say popcorn and Aaron. And then you would have to start reading.
That's stupid.
It's not stupid because
That's
you have to
stupid.
pay attention.
No, that's not cool.
Exactly. So you would always try. You'd be like looking around whenever you're saying your last sentence
Yeah.
to see what ass is like not paying attention.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, popcorn Aaron. What? Huh?
Yeah.
Are you sleeping? But anyhow.
I got that ADD issue too, though. Sometimes I get bored. And then if it's somebody that can't really read, I get like a real negative vibe in my head because
When you can't read?
yeah, that's wrong. I know.
Yeah.
I know it's wrong. It was probably hurtful to some people. I'm like, you're so stupid. But
Bro, you can't even read.
it's-
How are you? What are you doing?
it's to he.
It's the. Yeah. I get that. I understand that part
Like
of it.
it gets in my ear. I'm like, ugh. Instead,
Yeah.
gosh, there's a comma in there somewhere. Like there's a beginning and end to a sentence.
Right.
I wasn't very nice.
The amount of people that can't read, though, there's a lot.
Is it really that bad now?
Maybe not in America, but across the world in general.
Yeah.
It's a bad. It's
It's
really
pretty
bad.
hurtful. It's pretty
Especially
hurtful that I'm putting it out there.
yeah, because we're a global entity right now.
Yeah.
But no,
Africa,
that's-
I'm sorry.
that was one of the
Asia?
Wow, you went right to Africa and Asia.
Global. That's the furthest away, bro.
Went mainstream on us.
Yes.
I had a friend. She just went to I think Bolivia because she did like one of those adopt a kid type things where you send money and then you go visit.
Oh, okay.
Like she didn't like go down there and
thought she
adopt a
went
kid.
Adopted a kid.
No, but the money she donated is helping this girl go to school.
Uh-huh.
And the kind of circling back to what we were just talking about, they say that if you have clean water, food, and access to education, the amount your life expectancy increases dramatically, especially as a woman in these types of countries.
What's that? The hierarchy of needs.
Yeah, for sure.
it
But
Maslow?
that access
Is it
to
Maslow?
school, yeah, Maslow. Yeah.
All right.
Look at me, I remembered a name.
That's a first.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but I can't remember. Again, here we go. I can't remember where I found that information at.
Surface education at the Stars podcast.
But, yeah, access to education, the food and water, and then what she was doing is donating that money and ultimately her time because she went there.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and visited with the girl that she quote unquote adopted. It was neat.
Yeah, that's pretty. I always thought that those were fake. Like
Yeah, like send a dime or whatever.
Yeah.
Those things.
25 cents a day can help this child breathe. Like it's, and this is not to go against all the good organizations out there, because I'm sure there's good ones.
Yeah.
But I think they say like 10 cents out of every dollar would get to that person,
Yeah.
or to get to the actual help. It's all the infrastructure part of it. So really, I guess the more you put in, the better it will be. But if you want like 80% of the profits to go to something, then that's what it should be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't think it's unfair when you start to think of the whole thing. But I mean, planes gotta fly, ships gotta be. I get it.
Yeah, no, I get that too. That was whenever I donated some time at the community food bank in Pittsburgh, and we lived down there. One of the director that was running everything, they would always say do the cash donations more so than food donations for some reason.
Wow. Why?
Like, because of all the infrastructure that's put in place, it's easier for them to buy the food
with cash
than to have it donated and then sorted and then given out that way.
I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did that for 40 hours during a
It
summer.
was like a
It was
community service thing.
Yeah, it was
Were you
for
mandated to do it?
It was for school. Yeah, it was. It was for school, not for probation. Not for probation. I did it for school, and we had to do a paper afterwards, and it was a neat experience to be with a lot of other community members that needed the food, and then also community members that were just helping sort and pack things like that. And it was also interesting. Like, you would look at the dates on things, and as long as it fell within 2 weeks of the Best Buy date, it was good to go.
2 weeks, within 2 weeks. So it's after the actual date, but 2 weeks after that date.
As long as it's they felt as though, like, as soon as it hit that date, you had 2 weeks after that, and then if it were 2 weeks after that, then you got to throw it out.
Speaking of that, have you heard of this thing called Misfits?
Mm-mm.
So they have a lot of like produce that looks funny.
Oh yeah, actually I have seen this.
So they were on Shark
Ugly
Tank.
fruit or something.
Yeah, so they were on Shark Tank, and they were only in like 4 states, but I guess they're in PA now.
Oh really?
Yeah. So yeah, Chelsea's thinking about getting in on that. I mean, they just send you fruits that aren't aesthetically pleasing,
Yeah.
but they're still, still good to eat.
Right.
But it like packaging and supermarkets, like ground meat is not supposed to look like that. Salmon, fish, like things are colored to be aesthetically pleasing.
I don't understand that either.
I don't either.
You know what I mean? Like, why?
Yeah.
Why does it
seen
have
like true tuna? Like, it's an ugly looking fish.
I don't know. I mean, the fish, yeah, I've seen the fish.
Yeah.
My buddy was actually fishing out off of I think he was out in California ocean fishing. And he bluefin tuna.
Yeah.
It was huge.
Yeah.
It was as big as this table.
Like, the fish itself is beautiful, but like when you got
meat
it like
inside?
yeah. It's not very
I've never seen
a
fish
it looks
like
weird.
fresh out of the water like that.
Oh,
all
man.
chopped up.
Yeah. Had when I went to Mexico and Snappa, this where we were staying at, the guy owns the complex in Mexico. It was Zuantanejo, Mexico, and he has a fishing. He had like he had fishing fleet. He came because we were renting off him. And he said, "Hey, everybody in the boat caught fish. You want some Snappa?" Caught that morning, bro. Like, it was amazing.
Hell yeah.
Amazing. I liked it. I don't really like Mexico. I don't like touristy spots. So when I went down to Mexico, like, we stood in a fishing village. Like, it wasn't very.
It was just a small.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was it was cool. It was cool to live amongst them.
How did you find that place?
I actually went there for a wedding. A buddy of mine, Jamie, what's up? And we went down there for his wedding, and I don't know how he found that place, but destination wedding, I'm all about it.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, yeah,
That's
go.
cool.
It was, we took a little puddle jumper to get there. Mm-hmm. So they
So is it just over the border, or
no? This is down deep. It's on the west coast side of Mexico, like on the equator. So like down, like it's like 40 miles north of Acapulco. I think that's right.
Okay.
So it's like middle Mexico.
And he's not from there.
No, he's not from there. Well, there was a movie. Was it Shawshank Redemption? That's where he went.
Oh, really? Is that why?
Zuantanejo.
So is that why he picked that place?
Could have been. But it was awesome. So like
If he picks the place because of Shawshank Redemption,
maybe
that'd be
like, he's quirky as hell. So it probably
might be some truth there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like they do have a resort side. It's called Ixtapa and Zuantanejo. So like, you come in the same road and you go right to Ixtapa, which is like the resort, and you go left to Zuantanejo, which is like the fishing village. And so the bartender, this was so awesome. So we went to a bar at the hotel, one of the hotels. We didn't stay at the hotel, but one of the hotels next to the beach, and we went to the bar and we're sitting there drinking, blah blah blah. And I asked the dude, because at that time I was bartending, and I said, like, how much do you make? And he was like, about $30 a month.
What?
Yeah. I was like, are you kidding me? Yeah. He's like, no, that's just, because like the whole cost of a dollar and everything, it's different. Like
Yeah, so it would be even less.
Yeah. So what I do, I gave him a $20 tip.
Yeah.
Boom. I didn't pay for drinks for 3 days.
I
It
bet
was
not.
awesome.
You just his monthly salary.
Yeah. Like I was all about it. Like
$30 a month.
And the first thing he did, he's kissed it up to God.
Yeah.
He said, "Thank you, God. Gracias a Dios." Like
Think that was just a trick?
I don't know.
Think he just
You know
does
what?
that?
But me personally, I didn't take it as a trick. So, like, I'm
It
good.
was
on
good
my
for
end.
you.
Yeah,
It was good
I'm
for
on
you.
my end.
I just wonder.
Because I mean, if
He's like
that's
some American come down here, they got money. I'm gonna tell him I make $30.
Hey,
He's gonna give me that tip.
whatever. But my soul was clean. However, that person,
Yeah.
did it.
Right.
And to go with the whole theatrics of kissing up to God, that's on him, bro. That's not on me.
Yeah, that's a good bit for him.
Yeah. Have at it.
If it's not true,
Yeah. But why did you go automatically to that's horrible.
it is.
To go right to a manipulated situation.
Yeah, I got trust issues.
You do.
It's okay though. Keeps
Nothing
me
wrong
safe.
Is it?
Yeah.
Or keeps you skewed?
No, because I still help people out.
I know.
Yeah.
You do your 40 hours of
Yeah.
actual volunteer work.
Exactly. So
Instead of being mandated.
yeah, not probation. I've had to oversee some juveniles that had to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple buddies
That's it.
growing up. They always had to go to the municipal building and get their community service hours, cleaning
Yeah.
up the park and stuff.
And they had to wear a vest.
I don't know.
Someone was given vest. So like
I wish
everybody
they would
knew.
have had to wear a vest.
Like you drive by and be like,
Yeah, exactly.
he's doing community service work.
Foolish, because he was being foolish.
Yeah. Community service is better than jail.
Man, I don't know how I never ended up with community service.
I don't know how I never ended up in jail.
Yeah. Interesting. Interesting stuff.
You're thinking community service. I'm thinking
I hear like jail.
yeah.
How am I still here?
Yeah.
Depends on who's listening.
This is true.
So what have you been up to? We haven't really talked all week.
I know. First, bump all that. Like, I want to talk about this cauliflower area you're starting to get on your.
Oh God.
Bro, that is sexy.
My wife is so mad. She's like, you got to get that drained. And then all the guys in the gym, not at Monarch, but at the ATA, they're like, dude, that looks hard.
Yeah.
Like, it hurts.
Like, people are going to
It
know
hurts so bad.
now that you're, like, really rolling.
Yeah. It's poofy as shit.
Bro, that's a badge of honor right there, though.
I guess.
And
just
but now,
getting choked to shit for hours.
but now
on
it's gonna blow up all the time.
I know. This one blows up too here and there, but this is the one that really gets caught.
But that goes to like what your wife was listening to when we walked in. You know, you're in that arena now.
Yeah.
You're freaking in there. You're in it to win it, and now you'll have people start judging you because of your ear.
Probably.
You know,
Yeah.
like, oh, he's one of those guys.
Yeah.
You know, and I love that. That was a good little thing, because just being in the arena of something and setting ourselves up for ridicule. This podcast,
For sure.
right? So we are trying to disseminate whatever good content we can, whoever it's going to be relevant to or not, you know, but people are like, you're one of those guys in a podcast, or you have no idea what you're doing, or why would you do that? Everybody always has an opinion, but nobody's ever in the trenches to do anything.
Right. They're
So,
not doing one.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like, we want to put whatever great content we can out into the universe, right?
Mm-hmm.
For somebody to listen to,
Absolutely.
you know? So, but we're going to be ridiculed and talked about, and the comments. Now we got an IG
love
page up. You know,
I love it.
Our IG page and our Facebook page is going to be up, so look out for the Stars Podcast.
Stars_podcast.
Yeah.
And on Instagram. And then you can't do that on Facebook, so just Stars Podcast.
Stars Podcast on Facebook.
But no, and man, I just, and I've said this before, I think that a huge push for me to do jiu-jitsu in the first place was simply as a something different in the martial arts world that I think is going to become more popular, first off. So I kind of wanted to be in on the front end of this and learn about it. And then secondly, I wanted to compete.
Yeah.
And the reason I want to compete is because I want to know what it feels like again to be on the mat. Because when my daughter goes on the mat, I want to have
the same anxieties, I
want to have an understanding of what she's going through.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely.
Because like I could never understand why she didn't want to eat all day at the competitions.
Yeah.
And I get it now. I don't want to eat because you're anxious.
Yeah.
You don't want to eat. You don't have an appetite.
The thing is, you have to force yourself to eat because you need something for that anxiety to chew on.
But instead of just sitting there yelling at her, telling her to eat,
I
can come at her from an understanding perspective and say, listen, I get it because of this.
You're validating her.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I hear you because I'm there with you.
Right.
And that was a huge push for me because I'm looking around at all these parents and 99% of them couldn't do half of what these kids are doing. And they've never done it either.
Yeah.
So to sit there and say something, it reminds me of a professor in college that is professing out of a book but has never done it.
Never went to the workforce.
Right.
Everything's all book smart, educated. That's why they're quirky as hell. But yeah, I mean, to go, I don't want to cut you off, but to go on that, the ones that are doing, let's say, homeschool or college online, do you think that they're gonna be a good professional in their profession?
I think so.
You think?
Oh yeah, and here's why I think so.
But that kind of counters your point, though.
It doesn't. It doesn't because
talk to me.
So I listened to a podcast the other day, and it was on the subject of unschooling. And what the concept is instead of homeschooling, because homeschooling is still fit to a curriculum. Mm-hmm. It's still fit to whatever your state is. It's fit to your curriculum.
Yeah.
Unschooling is more or less saying, hey, Johnny, what do you like to learn about? Okay. So let's say that he wants to learn about astronomy. He wants to learn about history and gardening. Well, that's what they learn about. So you get, and it's a privileged way to look at life. I'm going to say that right out of the gate. It's a privileged way to school and things like that because you have to get history books and astronomy books and gardening tools and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So not everybody can do it, I don't think. But think about the way that you attack self-defense and you attack martial arts. It's a passion.
Right.
You love it.
Yes.
You invest a lot of time into those things.
Yeah.
So the more time that you invest into those things, coming at it with a perception that you love it, I think you retain more when you do that.
I agree. Yes.
So
I see what you're saying. All right.
when you're in that passion project, like we've talked about before,
which you hate.
I don't hate. I just think that you got to pay your bills first before you get to one. But as a kid, you can have passion projects till it's coming out of the wazoo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you don't have any responsibilities at that point.
You got the time to do it. You got
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why I think these kids, YouTube is a perfect example because they're able to learn anything they want to. It's a part of that unschooling process because they're learning. Like my daughter, she learned how to solve Rubik's Cube. She learned how to skateboard. And she's learned how to like do makeup. She's learned how to do scootering, all types of different things.
Yeah.
All from YouTube.
Right.
All self-learning. So do I think that translates into a job at some point and to be productive? Absolutely.
But the experiences are someone else's. It's not. It's not an original thought, I guess, is where I'm
Well,
at.
yes, it is, because you're applying it to yourself. You're not just watching them do it and
Right.
then never doing it yourself.
Gotcha.
You're watching somebody do it, but you're going to do it yourself too, and you're going to fail. Just because you watch somebody fall off a skateboard doesn't mean you're never going to fall off a skateboard.
Yeah. Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Right.
Just because you watch somebody grow carrots doesn't mean that your carrots are going to grow initially, you know?
So you're learning from somebody else's mistakes of what they went through, and then they're putting it out there. So you're like ahead of the game is where you're at.
Sort of. You're sort of ahead of the game. You know what to expect more now.
Mm-hmm.
I think you know what to expect more. So when something does go wrong, you're like, oh, man, Aaron told me that was going to happen.
Yeah.
And now it happened.
Yeah.
You know?
Kind of goes back to what was it?
Tad.
When we talked about that, like what kind of leaders are these people? What kind of leaders are these students going to be?
Have you been thinking about that this week?
I have.
So have I. Tell me about it, though.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, here we are. We're setting up a society of students that we're giving them a whole lot more than I guess we had growing up, or they're going into the social media, or they're athletics are down. I
didn't know that.
Yeah, there's not many students like signing up for football, for baseball, for those sports, or the numbers are going down. Why is that? Are they doing more screen time? So like, I'm like, where is this future going to be in 20 years? I think NFL is going to be a thing of the past. I think professional sports are going to be so small. It's not even going to be a thing anymore. I think that you're going to have more people behind the scenes trying to orchestrate certain things, and they're going to curtail it to this population that's coming through. And I think there's a disservice that's going to happen, because there's so much that you learn from sports, as far as like team building, making great relationships, going through pain. Remember the whole thing, no pain, no gain. There's a lot of truth to that. I mean, you got freaking black and blues on the side of your ear, but you know what to do, what not to do. You know the progression of that. So you're organically feeling and failing and doing these things, where right now we're taking that away.
In a sports aspect,
Yeah.
you're taking it away. You never. I don't think you can ever take away failure.
Right. True.
You can't ever take away failure, and you can't ever take away those experiences. You would have to honestly just never do anything new. But even to get to that point in your life, you've had to fail at something and struggle. So I think
It goes back to keeping up with the Joneses, though. So like, well, I want to be there. Like, how do they get there? People just see end products because that's all we want to put out.
right. I agree with you. I agree with you in that respect, that there's a lot of highlight reels out there.
Yeah.
I mean, my Instagram's full of it.
Yeah.
Full of highlight reels. But, and this is so weird. I was thinking about this during my run today, was that the work, and it was because of something somebody said on Instagram, and it was more or less, you only see me when I'm on the mat on TV, when I'm fighting, but
Yeah.
you don't see the 4:30 wake up call. You don't see me not being able to go out with my friends and go drinking. You don't see missing birthday parties because I have to train. You don't see blah blah blah. But just because we don't see it doesn't mean that once we start down a road that we're not going to experience it. And you're going to see it even with the Major League Gaming that's coming out.
The
Kid-
hours of gaming.
The kid who won puts in 10 to 12 hours a day, plus goes to school.
I wonder what his grades are like.
4.0.
Wow.
So you can say what you want about this next generation coming through,
Yeah.
but there are some gems out there.
Yeah.
And I think that the more people experience social media and these highlight reels and how fake it is, the more we understand about it. Like, we all know it's fake.
Yeah.
Like, we all get it. We all know that it's just a highlight reel. Anybody who's lived life at all understands that. Now, there's some people out there that
nobody wants to put the struggle out there. Nobody, which I think is a disservice, you know? Like, perfect example, the whole freaking picture. I had a picture of when we went to the beach, and all you saw was the end product of the picture. Do you know how long it took me to get to that daggone picture? Kids were screaming, jumping on me, crying. Hair was a mess. And you're just like, hey.
Yeah. And it's funny that we only put that other picture out.
I actually put the other one. I put, yeah, I did.
And that's not typical.
Yeah.
That's not typical to see that picture and the end picture.
More people should put the bad pictures.
Why do we
the
do
B-roll.
that?
More
Why do
people
we
should
do
put
that?
the B-roll because we want to put out like our world is awesome. You know, our world is so good. Look at me. I'm having a better life than you.
But isn't there a big push now to be I'm just a normal guy. I'm just a normal lady.
I think people say that, but I don't think they really want to.
They don't believe it.
That's back into that whole. You're gonna step into the arena. You know what I mean? Like, you're not ready.
What was her name? Renee Brown.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
I think it was Renee Brown.
Yes. So you're stepping into that arena, but people want the arena to be curtailed to them. You know, like I'm only gonna put, even if I do put a B-roll, I'm gonna put a B-roll of what I want to put out. That's still gonna make me look kind of cool. You know, they're not ready to set themselves up for ridicule. Like my wife has openly talked about, you know, her depression and her anxiety, and that is big for her because she's not that person. She doesn't want to put herself out there like that. Nobody does, you know. And I have the same things. I have the same anxiety. I have the same depression. I have the same, you know, the fact that, hey, look, some bills aren't going to get paid and some bills are. You know, it comes to a point like, oh, Aaron has a business and he might look pretty cool, might look really good, but you know how much garbage I got to do and exchanging I got to do to make that happen? People just like, you know,
it's an interesting thing too because a lot of people feel like the motivator is money all the time. Yeah. And while that's very important to keep businesses going, the ultimate goal of some businesses is just to stay afloat to the point that you can assist other people.
Absolutely.
You know, it's not always about making six figures. Now, do I look down on somebody who's out there to make six figures? Not at all. Awesome.
Yeah.
But I think there's a perception too that just because you have a business, you're rich.
Yeah.
When you're
there's probably millionaires that are super unhappy.
Absolutely.
I bet there are.
And that's why it's like, you know, you do your life's work and I think this project that we're doing here with the podcast is a testament to that. I don't make any money doing this.
No money. We don't make any money doing this. But this is just content. This is just what we want to give to the world. We want to put it out there.
And it's no different than, and I think going back to what we were talking about though, I don't think there's any difference between you and I and a kid that's 13, 14 years old. At some point, they're going to get to a point that we're at and want to help other people. So I don't think that we're doing a disservice by giving kids screens and content. And do I think kids should play sports? Yes, I think you should play sports just for physical.
Yeah.
It's just to keep
totally different. I'm
coming at it more from a physical standpoint, not so much a mental standpoint.
Gotcha.
Just your bone structure and all of that. It helps whenever you do sport growing up. Later on in life, you don't get hurt as much. Your bone density is higher.
Like breaking an arm, breaking a leg.
You're less likely to get hurt doing something later on in life, if you've played sports growing up, even if you were injured or whatever, it's been proven time and time again, your bone density is higher. Your muscle structure is more compact and strong than somebody who hasn't done that. So from that standpoint, I think you should definitely play sports.
Yeah.
But the coaching and the psychology behind it, I think you can get that from other avenues. Like there's tons of kids out there that maybe only did band or only did choir or things like that have the same mentality as you and I do.
Yeah.
They never touched a basketball or a football in their whole life.
Yeah.
So
yeah. But it comes down to like, okay, practice. How do I get better at doing something? So I have to have the mentality of like, okay, I have to put this amount of effort in to do that. And I have to do it with other people in mind. Because if I don't do my job, their job is not going to get done. So it also builds that camaraderie, it builds the teamwork, and you have one person orchestrating that. We're just talking about band now.
yeah,
You have one person being the leader, and that one person is going to keep you on beat so that you can be successful into doing what you're doing. But if you never have those, like if there were never leaders, like where would we be?
oh yeah,
If they're only followers, I don't want YouTube to be a leader. I don't want social media to be a leader.
okay, I picked that up.
You
Yeah,
know? Like you have to have an actual physical person, or not even physical, maybe a digital person that's orchestrating that for you. And are we going to lose that?
I don't think you can lose it. I just don't think you can.
Mm-hmm.
We're such an individualistic society though too, that what you're talking about is more collectivist society, more like a Japan or something like that, where everything is more family oriented.
Mm-hmm.
We like to say that we're family oriented, but we're very individualistic.
Yeah.
In America, and
Well, the military jumped all over that too. The Army of One.
oh really?
I mean,
Yeah. There was a big push for that.
Yeah.
It was like a whole marketing campaign.
Yeah, Army of One. And there was no teamwork aspect to it.
Yeah.
And that's I don't get it. I don't like the person that's sitting in front of a screen by themselves, not having the social cues and not having the other people around them.
Yes, I don't like that either. I don't like somebody being secluded.
Mm-hmm.
We're not a being that should be secluded.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you've experienced this just from working in the jails.
Yeah.
Somebody who's secluded, that they don't get better.
No.
That's never somebody that's getting better.
Yeah. We're not meant to be alone.
No,
I don't think us as human beings are not meant to be alone.
That's what I was getting at. We're not.
And it's always good to have a partner in that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think digital relationships can be fine. I think they can be good. I think you can create a community of people digitally. I've never experienced a situation where that was going to be the only thing for me.
Yeah.
Like growing up, I've grown up with computers. I've grown up with online friends.
Mm-hmm.
I have friends on Xbox that I've never met in my whole life.
That's crazy. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
it's a totally different generation.
But you're setting up at 11 o'clock. We're gonna play, Gears of War or whatever. That's such an old game. Sorry. Anyhow, but like we would do that. We would set up times. We would get on. We would all play. We'd play till 1 a.m. and then, hey Jimmy, see you later.
That's crazy.
And never met them in your whole life. And I just don't know that I would be able to have that be my only interaction.
Yeah. But that's where
that's
it's
like Player One. Did you ever see that movie? Ready Player One. I love the movie. It was it's kind of like the next generation. Yeah, next generation of gaming. And it's you wear these haptic suits and everything that you like. If somebody were to touch you in the game, like on your arm, you could feel it in real life.
Whoa.
Yeah, crazy. And you can obviously go X-rated on that too.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was nuts. But shit, where was I going with that? Ready Player One. What were we talking about?
interaction.
Yeah. So the interaction, the people that were the main characters, they never met each other in real life. They were always in the game, and that was who they were friends with.
That was their community.
And it created an interesting view to what you're talking about. Is, are we going to lose the physical person?
Yeah. Oh, I we're already going down that path.
But how do you lose the physical
Nobody
person?
freaking calls anybody anymore and talk on the phone.
I know, but how can you
They're
lose
all
the
doing
physical
this.
person? Because there's always somebody behind that. There's always some person there.
Yeah, but you're
So if you-
taking out that communication with someone. You're doing it like that would be like, I'm not talking to you. I'm just gonna text you because I can't have that social experience.
So the
with
soft skill is what we're losing, for sure. The soft skill is just like speaking,
Right.
communicating.
Yeah.
And it could go even further too, because of services like Grubhub and things like that. You never have to leave your house, really.
Yeah.
You can work from home now.
I mean, you could work from home. You can get your groceries. You don't even have to step outside your daggone place.
I know.
That's
Scary too, because then you can really get, if you're just watching media and all the media is being curtailed to you.
Yes.
Have you
So
watched
skewed.
the Great Hack on Netflix yet?
Mm-mm.
It's all about the hacks that happened in the elections and about Cambridge Analytics. Changed my whole view on everything that's happening in my social media feed. Did you ever have a situation where you were talking about something, you never searched it or anything like that on your phone, but all of a sudden you're getting ads for it?
Oh yeah.
That's what the Great Hack is about.
Yeah, the algorithm is Facebook and
But they say
and
it's not
Google.
because the microphone's listening. They say they've been able to pinpoint exactly what you'll be talking about based on your searches.
Yeah. Oh, I definitely could see that. That's scary.
So scary. So think about it in terms of what we're talking about is, if we get to the point where we never leave our house, all we're doing is on the screen, and then we're being filtered information that keeps us scared enough to stay in our house.
Yes.
Woo!
Yeah.
I hope we don't go there.
Seriously, like
That's my ultimate fear in that digital world, like you're talking about.
Mhm.
That's my ultimate fear.
Yeah.
I never want to lose the human interaction.
The writing's on the wall, bro.
But that's why I think martial arts and all of this stuff,
Yeah.
where you have to go to a gym
Yeah.
and you got to interact with
Yeah.
people.
You gotta
have
get
to
sweaty
have
with
that
people.
stuff.
You gotta get the touch.
And that's why I support all of it.
Yeah.
I will give boatloads of money to things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Things that will keep people coming together and actually physically touching
Right.
and talking and
Yes.
seeing each other.
Yes.
I'm all about it.
Yeah.
I will invest all of my money into those things.
Yes. So I have coined the term community, and it is so cool. The community that I'm building up in Meadville, we are like, these guys are having like separation anxiety when they go on vacation. I'm getting pictures of people on vacation with their Krav shirts on.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so cool to me. Like it's, I got people that are showing up. I just need to get out the house. I work from home. I babysit kids. I just want to get out the house and get some social networking that's
Yes.
organic, that's touching. There's people that have gone through like severe anxiety, depression, sexual assault, victimized, anything. They're coming all into one arena and they're learning something together and they're building a relationship with each other. I'm just there to fulfill it for them. It is so cool to me to do that. It's so and regardless if I make millions in this or not, like that's my stamp on the world saying, yeah, freaking did this. When people were like, oh, sorry, I can't make it. I'm having so much anxiety of not being there. Like that's the motivation. Oh, this changed my life. Oh, I'm a rock star. Oh, like that keeps me going. That's my fuel. That's my breath that I feel. You know what I mean? And I'm able to just like put it all together and be like, here's the package. You know, anybody wants to feel that, go to a, like you say, go to a studio, go roll around with some people, go get some kind of physical activity.
Even just go to the grocery store. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, just get out of that house and see people.
Gosh.
But what you're talking about, too, is I think, or you're going to skip over this, and I don't want you to. The people who have been hurt by others.
Yeah.
If it's sexually, if it's just physically, even verbally, been abused by somebody. The ability for you to create a sanitized area where they can feel safe and then regain that confidence piece by piece, minute by minute.
Different responses for them.
That's the power. Because people who have had that traumatic experience, they're going to recreate the trauma throughout their lives if they don't deal with it.
Right.
If they don't solve it. You know, you can continue to put Band-Aids over it, but until it actually heals, it's going to continue to break open. What the community that you have is helping people do that.
Which I feel amazed. I'm honored to do it.
But that goes back to what I was saying earlier too, was like, not every business is put on this earth to make millions of dollars.
Right.
You know, and I think people get that messed up a little bit.
Yeah.
And somebody who is in it for the right reason will make the money, right?
Yeah.
But I also think a lot of people who go into business think that they're going to make $1 million, and when they don't, they become frustrated and quit.
Yeah.
When the big picture should really be helping each other out.
Right. Yep.
Instead, we get so focused on that money in the highlight reel that we lose focus on each other. And what the real goal is just to help each other out and live the best life that we all can together.
Yeah.
And if we make some money along the way, awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Wouldn't it be nice to have a Ferrari? Of course. Those things are fun. But when you talk about what the real goal is, each and every day, and why we elect certain officials over others, is how are they going to help us and our family and our community? Because that's what we care about.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that having the long-term goals and things like that are, you have to keep that in mind.
You do. I mean,
and I hope we never lose that through a digital world.
That's what I'm afraid of. Like,
so am I.
How many more motivators are going to be out there if they're socially awkward? You know, how many motivators of just putting out good, positive human beings are going to be there if they're secluded to their house, huddled into a corner, playing on a screen?
Yeah, or just talking headlines, because that's all that we get. You know, not ever taking a deep dive into and being thoughtful about things.
Yeah, you're only getting the information that's given to you.
Right.
You're not
on the screen.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're not feeding anything to yourself. Like, you're not reading a book. You're not reading an article. You're not trying to educate yourself. You're not trying to stimulate your mind. No, because people are doing it for you.
Yeah. There are curators out there that are giving you that information. I was I had an idea the other day, something that I wanted to put out. It was like what I wanted to do. I haven't done it yet, and I haven't found one yet. Is your media diet and having the pyramid of media diet.
Media diet. Okay.
Now they have a media diet out there, but I want to make it so like grains, fats, vegetables.
Pretty cool.
But I want to make it like what your media diet should be.
It goes back to that. That's awesome. I'd be all in.
It's just a funny little side project I'm going to do.
Like the whole thing of clicks. They say what you have, 1,000, 10,000 clicks a day. What are you clicking on? That's going to be your issue. Like,
dude, over the last month, I had 496 liked posts that I liked.
That you personally liked.
Yeah. because like my little highlight thing came up for July.
Mm-hmm.
I had like 496 posts.
That's a lot of posts.
I feel like it is.
I wonder.
And I'm
how-
not on it all that
Yeah,
much either.
See, I'm on it less. I mean, I have probably about 10 hours that I don't even have my phone.
Yeah.
You know.
But I saw that and I'm like, really? I've liked almost 500 posts. I wonder what other people's like. I wonder if I'm above average or below average on that.
On your.
I'd be interested to know.
How do you know that?
It came up on like Facebook gives you your
Your
July moments.
Yes. Yeah.
and that was one of my July moments.
That's crazy.
They're like, hey, bro, 496.
That's a lot. But imagine the person that's on there inundated in Facebook or social media every day.
Yeah,
now, this is not to say that social media is the death of the nation or anything like that, because I think it's like us. Social media is a big push for us.
It's the only way we get our content out there.
It is. Valor PDS, Valor Combat Academy. That's we thrive on social media. Social media is very undervalued. A lot of people, and what I mean by undervalued, and this is not an original thought for me, but undervalued is, you know how much money that Facebook can stream to your personal pocket that you can't get anywhere else. And if I wanted, let's say I wanted to blast the Stars podcast, I can pay $25 and hit 1,100 people.
Yeah.
You know, like that is minuscule. $25 to hit 1,100 people. What could that be for our revenue? You know, if the Stars podcast was making revenue.
No, I hear you loud and clear.
You know? So
Yeah.
it's a very undervalued, kind of a funny thing, because I think they might just be bringing us in and be like, haha, now I got you. You know, you made $100,000 off of me. We want $150 a month off that. You know, Facebook could do it. They could make it the, hey, look, because your business is thriving on
but they could
our
never,
social media platform, this is what we're gonna.
you'd have to direct point of sale on that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because there's no way for them to tell you made $50 for every dollar spent.
But how many algorithms they can have for projected numbers?
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear. Absolutely, it could happen.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, from a practical standpoint, you would have to be able to correlate what you put in that advertising dollar to a sale, and make sure that that sale was a direct result of that advertisement.
They do that already.
How does
On
that
clicks.
work? Yeah, but if they click from that advertisement and then to your website,
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, if they click that advertisement and then 6 months down the road, then they click.
Then they purchase, or
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if they click through, that happens for sure.
Yeah, the landing page would be there.
That's how you get analytics. I mean, that's how I get analytics on my website and all of that. I
Right.
mean, you guys do too for
Yeah.
Valor PDS.
Yep.
You know what people are clicking.
Yep.
And that's why you change your website here and there, because certain things get more clicks than others. You know, you put the button up in the top right versus the bottom left.
Yeah.
There's all types of things out there.
They give you those helpful hints already.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. Just feed the beast. Just feed the beast.
They're getting statistics all over the place.
They are. And that's that Cambridge Analytics I was talking about. They're out of business now, but they've been in business since like 1994 collecting data. And how they were collecting data was from, like back in the day, you would get those email chains. If you don't forward this to 5 people,
Yes.
and you would fill out this like
Hate those.
100 question
Yeah.
questionnaire.
Yeah.
People were doing it on Facebook
Yeah.
for free.
Well, they got other. Yeah. Go
And
ahead.
then once they would share it, they now had access. Remember, you know how like whenever you click on some things, it'll say, we're going to access your,
Yep.
like we're going to access
Your
your
photos.
information and your friend's information or whatever. You would click OK. You're just like, okay, sure. Can I get to the next page? And you do that. Well, this was allowing the company who was doing the questionnaire to then get into your friends list and then push that to your friends and then to their friends. And they received information. I can't remember the number. It was in the millions. And they said on every U.S. voter, they had 300,000 data points on every single one.
It's crazy. Taking over the world.
So, like,
one click at a time.
I mean, even in grad school, we learned how to make those questionnaires.
Yeah.
And have them open-ended questions, and to be able to interpret that data that came out of it. And in interpreting that data, we knew which laptop to sell you.
Wow.
And we would do this in grad school for an entire semester of questionnaires, product, how to market it, how to sell it.
And all you did that for the school. Mm-hmm. The school probably captured that information.
Probably.
And then passed it on.
Probably sold it.
Yep.
I would have.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why not?
Here's a think tank. That is crazy. So here's a think tank of students. I have 50 students in a class. They created this thing. I have it. I own all the rights to it. And now I'm going to sell it to XYZ company.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And you're paying the school to be there.
Yes.
They're winning on all lines.
Slave labor.
They're winning on all lines. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
That digital world, baby.
Is
it good or bad? You know? Is it creating better leaders tomorrow?
We'll see. We'll see.
I'm excited.
About 15
and
years.
Freaking nervous.
I'm scared as all get out. Because I'm not that generation anymore.
I am the generation.
No, you're
to
not.
To a certain extent.
The generation right now.
I'm like beta phase.
Are the 12-year-olds 15 years later? You know, what are they going to be? How's it going to look for them? Crazy. Well, if you got anything out of this, please let us know.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's been an hour. We got other things to do today. You know that you gotta get going.
Yeah.
So where can they find you?
GC_Valor PDS on Instagram, and then Valor Combat Academy in Meadville. That's all me.
Awesome. And you can find me, Ron, at Ambitious Distractions on Instagram.
Don't forget our Star Cup podcast on.
Oh yeah, we have
got a landing page.
Yeah,
now.
we have
those. Bumped all that. We don't need our GC Rican.
Yes, we got Stars_podcast on Instagram and Stars Podcast on Facebook. Thanks, guys.